I'm going to give you the name of some of the YouTube content creators that I've referenced in some of my videos. So if you're interested in looking them up, you can. Now, the first one is Laureen, Lauren, Angelade. That's her YouTube channel. Say not about 90%, 95% of her stuff is in German. She's an American living somewhere in Germany. I don't know quite where, but she's with her husband and family. There's Ruth, RuthAisling. She's I'll get to her in a couple minutes here. There's Armis Merlin, ArmmisMerlin. I'm gonna get to him in a second too. Now there's Lieben USA and Marlene's Lieben. Lieben is Lebin, I think. Well, Lieben is just a German word for life or living or that type of thing. Now most of Marlene's stuff is she's either in the summertime she'll do mountain hiking, so European mountains. In the wintertime, she'll do skiing. If you're into that type of thing, definitely worth watching. I've commented on Marlene's videos a couple times. Hey, chick, just make a couple. Not don't do them all. Make a 2 or 3 Marlene's, either Marlene's Lieben or Marlene's Life videos in English. The same thing, same content. Just and just see how well they do. See if they. I'm thinking she'll pick up a completely different audience. She'll pick up a completely different audience in English speaking world. Now there's Lieben USA. It's a guy in San Diego, and I think he's only done a few videos where he's calling us, Americans lazy and fat and stupid. I think he's only done a few of those. Because I think he's. I don't read all his comments because about 99% of them are in German, but I think he's gotten comments for a few people that either say that they are Americans that speak German or they visited the U.S. and he's wrong on a bunch of stuff. I don't get why he's made videos where he's talking about other stuff. Now there's another thing I'm going to comment before I get to some of the other content creators. Now there's you'll see, well, there's what they call these, what I call the sun worshippers. They got these parks and beaches just dedicated for people that want to go clothing optional. Now I've got a video of Nadine Jansen. She's a famous nude model. She's got two of the biggest pair of things that women have. She's got two of the biggest pair of these. If you want to go to her YouTube channel, it's like NadineJ.de. I think that's her YouTube channel. I think it's in English, but anyway, I've got a video of her going topless in a convertible through the streets of Berlin, and she gets out of the convertible, hops on the seat of a motorcycle police officer, and the guy's just sitting there talking to another officer and doesn't make any big deal about it. Now you do that around here, some cop has gone to slap a shirt or T-shirt on you and cart you off to jail for violating various modesty laws. Just a bit difference in our culture. Another thing, you'll see videos from the streets of Berlin, people with a stein of beer in their hand, and that's just part of their culture. No big deal. Just open container. You have a open container around here of alcohol, they'll get you get a ticket for if you open container of alcohol. Just a big difference between our cultures. Let me get to Lorraine now. Lorraine, about 89% of her, I said she is an American living with her German husband and family over in Germany, but she'll most of her videos are in German. I've seen her do one or two in English, but you can tell by her accent that she is American. She'll have these videos, what we call Denglish. It's an expansion on Spanglish, but people that speak both English and Spanish will be communicating with someone that another person they know knows both languages. It's kind of a combination of words in both languages, and it's Denglish, which is people. It's partially in German, Denglish, partially in German, and partially in English. She's got quite a few videos like that that have English words intermixed with her German words. That's just her. Now let me get to Ruth. I have no idea how you pronounce her last name. She is Scottish, and her videos are in English. Now her last video, she's in at the shores of Loch Ness. No, Loch Ness. Loch is just it means lake. Lake Ness is what that is. But anyway, she's talking about the Loch Ness monster, and I'm asking my viewers, what do you think about the Loch Ness monster? For me personally, I think it's a cool story. I think it's a very neat story. Now, the people that have studied the lake said it's just a very, very poor food source for any large marine reptile that it probably isn't a real Loch Ness monster in the sense that people think of it as a, maybe a, marine reptile with a plesiosaur. They think that's probably not who Loch Ness is. Probably you misidentified other sea creatures. That's kind of my thought, that Loch Ness is probably people are just seeing other stuff and misidentifying it as a Loch Ness monster. Let me get to Armis Merlin. Now, most of his videos, now he does speak good English because he spoke in English to people that are in his videos with him, but I think his target audience is a German-speaking European audience. A lot of his, he's done cross-country tours where he's saying, this is what you can see. I think he's done a little bit of Route 66. He's done, quite a number of places. You got to go to his YouTube channel. He's kind of explaining to people, now look, if this is the way you're expected to behave, if you're driving, if you rent a vehicle, if you're driving, this is the way you properly, if you pull over by law enforcement, this is the proper way it has to be handled. I'm thinking Europe is probably very, very similar. At least the people I've seen get pulled over in European countries. It's pretty much expected to handle it. Now, if you're into Mexico, you get pulled over by a law enforcement officer, expect a shakedown. Expect them to be asking you for money, because there's a lot of these guys are super poor. They're not paid very much, and they're expecting a bribe. That's just part of their culture. That's just part of where things are. Now, if you offer a bribe to a police officer, almost any other place, you can get in serious trouble. So so be very, very careful before you offer a bribe to any other police officer in any other place except Mexico, and be very, very careful on something like that. Just really, really watch your ass. Wherever you're at, be respectful for them, but you gotta know where you're at, and you gotta understand the local culture. Let's see, for I don't know if I covered this for Marlene's Lieben. I've covered it. I've put this forth on her channel. Now for I'll get to Lieben USA in a second here. Now for Marlene's Lieben, I've told her on her channel in English a couple times, she should start a second channel, pick some of her most favorite places that she really, really loves. Now, she's done skiing and mountain hiking, some very, very pretty country. She should make a Marlene's life video, totally in English. Frau, nobody's going to care you got an accent. Nobody cares about that type of thing. In fact, I think it's cool accents, especially on chicks. A Scottish accent, a German accent, very, very cool. Even an Australian accent. I'll get to that in a second. My perverted fantasies. But anyway, I don't need to cover that. You can kind of figure out my perverted fantasies with an Australian accent or, European accent. But anyway, I've told Marlene on some of her videos in English, she should start a second channel completely in English. Just pick some of her favorite spots, make it do a little bit of completely in English, and she'll pick up a completely different audience. She'll pick up maybe a British or American, Australian audience that is not watching her videos, in German, because just kind of a limited. I watch them because ich verstehe ein bisschen Deutsch. I'll phrase it that way. Now for Lieben USA, I've suggested. I may have suggested earlier in this video, but if you're American, if you speak German, go to Lieben USA and tell the guy that he's wrong about calling us Americans fat, lazy, and stupid, because he doesn't do it on all of them. He does it on some of them. I probably covered 2 or 3 of these because I've forgotten what I've said here. Okay, for Marlene, for Lauren, for Phoebe, for Nadine. Oh, I got this fantasy with Nadine. They said she's got the biggest pair of those things that women have. Okay, ich liebe dich, Frau, so Wiedersehen.